Alright guys, before we get into the video, let's talk about futtrading.co.uk. Every single method you see in my videos can be found over on the website with buying and selling prices for almost every single card on the game. £10 a month gets you access to tier 1 buying prices. That's icons, special cards, silvers and Thursday flips. For £15 a month, you get access to tier 2. That gives you live filters, gold chem styles, UCL cards, and our amazing area of fluctuations where the market is continually monitored for highs and lows. You guys are then notified when to buy low and buy and sell high, basically. A really easy way to make coins. We've recently introduced a tier 3 thanks to you guys asking for us to develop a bot. Basically, we came up with a program and what it does is it pings you every single minute pretty much. I think it's every 3 minutes. You will get pings telling you when cards are low and what to sell those cards for. I'm going to show you an example of that now. I'll be right back. Alright guys, and this is the area of the Discord for tier 3 users. As you can see, it is pinging you guys with the current price of these cards and the live target sell price. You have to cross-reference that with what the sell price has been recently and use some of your own market knowledge, but this runs 24 hours a day to make sure you guys are getting continual deals that you can keep making coins from. The legitimate way, a new ping's just come up right there for new cards that you can go out right now, buy and sell. So check it out, get involved, futtrading.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below and make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. Don't forget 2 prints from Real 30 Prints, the link is down below, are going to be given away to you guys shortly, so make sure you subscribe for your chance to win. And check out futtrading.co.uk, we are giving away 2 next generation consoles and 2 copies of FIFA 22 to say thank you for all the ridiculous support for this year. It has been insane and we are ever grateful, ever thankful, and we like to show that as much as we possibly can. But this video leads on from the gameplay video from yesterday. It would have been, I'm pretty sure it would have gone out yesterday. In terms of what we need to see from FIFA 22 next year, first video is all about gameplay. If you haven't watched that yet, go out and check it out. I like it. I thought it was a good video. I enjoyed doing it. This video is all about the content, and I'm going to say it, something that might be controversial here, but I think in general the content this year has been quite good. Not brilliant, but quite good. I've seen a lot of people complain about content this year in terms of pricing and things like that. And yes, there have been some mistakes made. But overall, I think the content has been a relative dub in terms of a lot of what they've done. Not everything. The thing that I think I have an issue with the gameplay content this year is the feast or famine mentality that EA seems to have. So when there's promos on their teams, there seems to be loads and loads of content. Then the promo stops and there's nothing. And then there's loads again and nothing. But even during promos, EA have done that. And it was bizarre. Team of the season was the most bizarre team of the season I think we've ever seen. Premier League Tots was terrible. Absolutely shocking. Then we've got the Bundesliga Tots, which was very good. The Liga Tots, which was great. Serie A was meh. Liga 1 was meh. And it was so bizarre because they did not keep up with the hype that they were having around certain team of the seasons. And I don't really understand why. It was bizarre team of the season in that if you had a specific league that you base your team around, you were great. So Bundesliga guys got absolutely tons of content. For me, it was great. I ran a Bundesliga team. I was like, brilliant. All these players for my team. But Premier League guys were completely left like flat. Ligue 1 guys left completely flat. And it was just bizarre. And then we looked at Festival of Foot, and it's content. Absolutely everywhere you look. And it's mental, just how much content we've got at the moment. But again, now that this part of the Festival of Football has ended, they've just left it as what it is, and there's not much more other than the repeatable prime icon moments, which is cool. It's a cool SBC, but that's it. And I just think there needs to be a bit more consistency. There doesn't need to be a promo for there to be content, and this is the point. During the week when there's no promo on, it wouldn't be hard to stick out like a daily SBC. I think they did it in one of the things this year, Foot Birthday, I think it was. You did an SBC every day for a 2 rare gold players pack. At the end of that, if you did all of them, you got a 35k pack, I think. It wouldn't be hard to do something like that in those little gaps, or random SBCs to get random players and just bits and bobs that you can do just to fill that gap in so people feel like there's a point in playing the game or being on the game. Because a lot of the time, people turn on at 6 PM, check content, do it, turn off. It needs to be more than that. And so for me, there needs to be way more in that sense. The place I think EA have done quite poorly this year, and this is going to be controversial again, is in these objectives. At the moment, there's some decent bits and bobs in terms of what you can do on this area here. But this is where I've not really liked it. The milestones, in my opinion, were a big flop this year. They really were a flop this year. These things at the beginning of the game were great. So all these sort of win 50 matches in rivals, champions mastery, scoring 200, blah blah blah. All these things were okay, but they should have been replaced later on. Now I did not use this account for a long while, so half this stuff hasn't been done. But most people finish this stuff relatively early in the game, and this should have been replaced with something else later on in the game to bring out something new, something fresh. Even if it was repeated again with new packs for playing those game modes, it encourages people to do them. But you could have put really cool, different things in here. If you remember the Mandanda objective, where you had to use goalkeepers, you could have done things like that, like score 10 goals with keepers, and you could have people taking penalties with their goalkeepers throughout the game. You're playing a game mode, you think, actually, let me take this penalty with Van der Sar, because it was needed to get a 50k pack eventually. Those sort of things could have been very good, and I don't think it was utilised anywhere near well enough this, and I hope next year it is, because it has a lot of potential, but it got neglected a little bit towards the end of the game, and it's a shame, because if you look at these cards here, none of them are really that usable, and a lot of these cards came out not long before TOTS, so I think it's something they need to work on. They have to work on it. Objectives-wise, these have been decent, but again, it's feast or famine. There tends to be loads or none, and again, I think more is needed than what we get from this. Again, simplistically, before a promo, you could have something similar to this here, where it's like, win X amount of matches or whatever, and at the beginning of that promo, if you can't afford FIFA points, you might have 8, 9, 10 packs, because that week, they've given you something to go and do. Win 5 matches in Rivals, for example, to get yourself a 25k pack. They could do that in the build-up to a promo, and people would engage with that, I think, and it'd be a reason to be on the game. And then you're doing that to pack stack up, ready for whatever it is, whatever's coming. So let's say, for example, it was TOTS around the corner. You could pack stack up, ready to go for TOTS, and that's their way of saying, if you want to grind the game, here's some reward for it. Obviously not going to give you 10 of 100k packs, it's never going to happen. But a few packs to play the game is fine. For me personally, I would just trade and buy the packs I want to buy. But some people don't want to trade, can't trade, so for them, it'd be a great idea in my opinion, and it's something simplistic. The biggest problem is this. Season objectives, in my opinion, for much of this year, has been poor. Really poor. This sort of area hasn't really moved with the game anywhere near enough. So this is the Season 7, okay? One of the last seasons of the game. Might be the last, but there might be one more. There might be 8. And if you look at this, the first reward in Season 7 is a 75 plus rated rare player. That should not be there. A coin boost should not be there. A premium gold pack should not be there. A 75 plus rated rare player again should not be there. I've not got too much qualms with these Tifos things. I don't really care about the stadium stuff, but some people do. This reminds me of like the battle passes you get on Fortnite, and I don't really mind that. I think that's alright. But in terms of pack rewards, these aren't good enough packs at this stage of the game. They're really not. A gold players pack for level 9 now. And the rewards should be better, in my opinion. The rewards should be much better, and they should move with the game. So being Season 7 now, in my opinion, the first pack here should probably be a 25k pack. Next pack could be another 25k pack. Pack after that could be a rare election pack. That's what it should be at this point to keep up with the curve of the game. That's just my opinion. You can disagree, you're entitled to. But the players themselves, these players here are good players. They are good players. But most of them are just sort of TOTS level cards that you'd be able to buy in the market for 50k. Where's the incentive to go out and buy, or if I say 50k, maybe 100k, to go out and grind the game here? I don't really see an incentive to go and do this. And then all up to level 30, Daniel Podence is a great card, Longley a great card, Brahim a great card. But by the time you get to level 30 this season, it's going to be like near enough the end of this game cycle, not far off of it. 32 days, 4 hours. These are cool, and they were right, but these are an exception. A lot of these cards towards the end of these seasons were not good. I've rarely ever seen anyone use end of season card against me. I think the Shilio is the only one I've seen recently anyone use. Because I look at these cards and I go, Brahim's good, Longley's good, Podence is good, but they're not groundbreaking cards. And earlier in the year, they were anything but groundbreaking. There were cards that were quite cheap on the market that were better than a lot of these cards. And I just never really saw a point in grinding it out to do it. These cards, in my opinion, for level 30 need to be excellent cards, like top level cards. If you did that, let's say, for example, in a season you gave, like earlier in the year, an Ousmane Dembele, like a striker 5-star card at level 30. Yes, that card might be ridiculously overpowered and everyone might go and get him in their teams. It might be similar, but that would be worth doing. And yeah, if people get him in their card and absolutely batter you with them, you should have gone and got it yourself and gone and done it. That's the sort of level I think they need to be for these sort of cards at the end. They need to be game breaking and really reward the reason why you would go and play 30 games, because 30 levels, because most people don't go and play 30 levels. And to me, it needs to be better. It needs to be way more in tune with how the power curve of the game is going. It needs to be way more on point. Even here, sort of Premier League Prime Players Packs, Bundesliga Prime Players Packs. After here, a Stadium Theme, Panda, Background Tifo, Panda. No, make these 3 packs here. And then put this stuff earlier on. This whole Panda thing here, or Dragon, whatever it is you want to do, it's your choice, just get all 3 of these. At this point in the game especially, let people have fun. But it needs to be better from that perspective, in my opinion. Outside of that, the content-wise, like you've got your SBCS and stuff like that, the promos themselves, there were some great promos this year and some not so great promos this year. I'd love to see promos next year better represent the power curve in this game again. They held down ratings this year, which I think was a very good thing to do. But they brought out cards and promos, a lot of them that just were infinitely not usable from day dot. And I think when you're looking at things like promo cards, again, they've got to be levels. They've got to be very, very good cards. And I can think of people like Hinteregger's Headliner card. There are a lot of cards that weren't anywhere near the power curve when they were released and were unlikely to really ever be that usable. And I think I'd rather less promos and more ridiculous cards as part of promos than loads of promos that you've got and the need to hold ratings down so that the power curve doesn't get ridiculous when you're doing that. But all in all, I will say the content this year has been good. I think it's had to have been good because the gameplay's been so poor. I think they've had to make sure the content's been to a level that it needed to be at to hide the gameplay behind that, if that makes sense. But I'd love to see them sort the gameplay out next year and really nail down the content because it's got the potential with some of the stuff they've done this year to be absolutely brilliant. FIFA 22 could be epic. It genuinely could be. With some of the stuff I've seen so far, it looks good. But would it just be a case of being let down again? That's what I'm expecting because it's what it's been up till now. And so I think we just need more from EA as a company. That's my opinion on it. We need more from them. A lot more. Let me know what you guys think about the content down below. Anything you think I've missed. Anything you think I should go over. But if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.